maintain an altitude of 15,000 feet. Flight 807, maintain your approach.
Thank you for tuning in to the James Cuffie Show. I'm your pilot, JC. We're just landing in Hartsfield International Airport, Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to all the international listeners, Africa, Asia, all around. Today, I have a song, a writer, a singer, an actor, a poet, way of Buffalo, New York. Put your hands together and welcome Thomas C. Hall.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Thomas. It is so great to be a part of such a great show.
How's it going, Thomas?
It's going well. The weather's nice. Just relaxing on a nice weekend.
Welcome to the plane. I'll be your pilot today.
Yeah.
I just want to first by saying that I really appreciate you on August the 1st doing what you did. He came to Atlanta and he just showed out. I appreciate it. He was here celebrating my partner. Unfortunately, he wasn't there, but I'll tell you, Mr. Thomas, he's really impressed me. He stepped up. He performed. He was on his game. So I just want to say thank you, Mr. Thomas.
I appreciate that so much. It was an honor to be even invited to such a prestigious event, especially based on representing Mr. Charles Gear, the legendary promoter. And to be there and for his presence was, like I said, a great honor.
Well, I appreciate it. He was not able to be there, but I was there to represent him. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate you for what you have done because, you came all the way from Buffalo to honor him. So yeah. I appreciate the song that you did. It was A-OK. And I just want on behalf of Mr. Charles and myself to say we appreciate because you didn't have to.
Right.
And we appreciate that you took that time to come and I was able to take the video so I can show him. And mm-hmm. he's grateful that you did that for him.
Yes. Even for him to take notice of me. And because of that, he's opened so many different doors with all the different contacts and connections that he has. But he's always been down to earth. So every time I speak to him, I'm trying to glean as much information as I possibly can from him because he's so educated in the entertainment field in that world. So the only thing that I could possibly do is learn from such a legend. And so I can't help but to continue to keep saying it was an honor. And I'm glad that you appreciated what I did. It was actually, I performed with a lot of different groups, and it was actually my debut as a solo artist to do my original material, and it went well, and the people seem to be appreciative of it.
I agree 100% with that. I just want to shout out and let everybody know that this is WLMR Radio, and I am your host, JC. So it is brought to you by Ground Under Entertainment. It is our sponsors are B&M Constructions in Atlanta, Georgia. So reach out and touch. If you have any home maintenance problems, reach out to B&M Construction. Mr. Hall, like I say, is from Buffalo, New York. He is one of 8 brothers and sisters. And if you understand the Hall name, he also is the first cousin of Arsenio Hall, the actor and comedian. So let us know a little bit about the family, Mr. Hall.
Well, I come from a family of entertainers. My dad, he played drums. My uncle played guitar. My other uncle played keyboards. sometimes they take me to their rehearsals when I'm just a little kid, and after they finished doing their thing, my father called me up and put me in front of a mic stand and said, "Sing something," and they just play, and I just had to ad lib. And I did not know that I would add to my songwriting because I was so used to making things up and ad libbing on the fly. So that has added to what I do right now. And I gravitated to actors and anyone in the entertainment field. That's why I even got into acting. And I paint as well. That wasn't in my bio, but I paint as well. So, it just, entertainment is just a part of who I am.
And I know one thing, you give a good performance. He has a good stage presence.
Thank you, thank you. One thing I always wanted to take into account is the people in the audience. Even though there may be things going on behind the scene, and we know there were some things going on behind the scene, it still wasn't right. I never felt it was right to shortchange the people that are sitting in the audience. It wasn't their fault. So I always want to try to give it my best so that they can feel as though they didn't waste their time and that they were entertained, at least by what I could do.
Exactly. But being Mr. Thomas, he's in the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame inductee as a member of the
Also, New York Blues Hall of Fame.
Right, and the Blues Hall of Fame. So
yes.
With this new song that they have out, Springtime Love, tell us something about that.
Yeah, it's a re-recording. A group that I was with called the Exotics. We put it out some years ago, and it made it number 2 in the local charts in surrounding areas. And so what I tried to do is just revamp it a little bit and add a little bit more of the flavor of the musical sound that's going on now. So, re-released it, and it's doing quite well. And in some of the strangest countries, too, like Russia and Germany and France.
Well, shout out to him right now because you are reaching out to him right now.
All right, shout out to Exotics. Great working with you guys.
Okay, well, the Exotics did stuff like Let's Make Love, Anything You Want.
That's right.
When Did Love Slip Away?
Come on.
I'll be around. Okay?
On and on.
I Want You Back. And then they got to hit it with the Exotic Touch.
Exotic Touch. That was a great song.
Come on now. See, Mr. Thomas is a friend of mine.
Some research there, Pat.
Well, you a friend. I follow you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
So as a solo artist, I know you doing good things.
Trying to. Now, my approach was not to just sound good. I wanted to do things and perform songs that touch people, right to the core to their heart. And so far, that's what people tell me, that it sounds good, but they feel it in their heart. So I feel as though I've hit the target when I hear that.
Okay, well, I'm glad to be your pilot today. And what I would like for you to do is talk about the beginning when y'all started the Exotics. What was the feeling? What was the atmosphere? Because that's old school funk, love, and soul. So that's you are a legend. And I want the listeners to understand that you're not just a fly by night.
No. I don't want to be a fly by. I want to have longevity in this field because it's who I am, and so I constantly search, to try to improve and, talk to a person such as yourself to try to get as much information as I can to be better at what I do. I don't want to just sing and not benefit from it. I want to benefit from it so that I can help someone else coming up as well. So to become a part of the Exotics was definitely a blessing. I was with another group out of Buffalo called Sabata. We were the biggest group in the town where people would line up around the block to see us perform. And, I spun off from that, and that's when I joined Exotics, and we put that song out, and it was the same thing, and so it makes me feel as though I'm making some good choices, even to get to this point of becoming a solo artist.
Like I say, when you got something like Springtime Love, that speaks for itself.
Even though I know the season of spring has passed, but you know what? Love has not passed. Love is constant. It's all over. And so whatever I can do to try to spark that love, hey, here I am.
Well, it had to be honored as an inductee into the New York Blues Hall of Fame for outstanding
Yeah.
rhythm and blues vocalist. So that
Yeah.
means that you touching everybody hard.
Exactly. I mean, black, white, Puerto Rican, it really doesn't matter. Every single person has a heart. And sometimes there's some music, say for instance, like in Russia, for instance, they may not necessarily understand all the lyrics, but they can feel the vibe that cuts through and touches their heart. So, that's what I'm continuing to do.
And that's a good thing. So let the listeners know how to reach out to you, and so they can reach out to you.
Yes, you can reach me on my Instagram. It's Thomas Hall 8060. Followers are definitely invited. Just to lift my brand and what I do to make more people aware of what I'm trying to accomplish with people such as yourself, which has been a motivation. Even when we met in Atlanta, it was brief, but it seemed like we had known each other for years and years because the conversation and the flow was so good, and you are a down to earth individual. And that's exactly what I try to surround myself with. Not just quantity, but I want quality, and I look at you as a quality brother. Appreciate you.
And I agree. I really enjoyed the evening spending with you, conversation and just hanging out. And I
Yeah.
had a bonus just sitting back and just looking at you on the stage perform. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm telling everyone go to Thomas' Facebook page and support him and look at
Yeah.
the videos and give him a thumbs up because he's one to be reckoned with right now.
Thank you. And also, on YouTube, if you type in Springtime Love, Thomas Hall, you can hear the song as well as watch the video. That would be so cool.
Okay, well let everybody know what you are doing in Buffalo.
Well, right now in Buffalo, I'm constantly writing. I've written so many songs, at least 50 songs since last April. I was just in the studio yesterday, in fact, recording another song. So I'm constantly searching to try to improve, and I try to write about subjects because I look at it like there's so many different topics on the planet to talk about, and sometimes it's kind of like the same rotation of things that's being talked about. But I try to go beyond that and write about things, other subject matters, but things that are relatable to people. Just like this one song I wrote called "Take a Picture," and it's about stealing a moment of time. When you take that picture, you've stolen a moment of time, and you can look back on it and remember that feeling that you had when you took that picture.
Okay, that sounds good. Let me know some of your mentors when you was coming up.
Yeah, yeah. Like I say, with 8 brothers, 4 boys, 4 girls, and we weren't that well to do in so many miles to feed, but we had this little brown wooden radio kind of a thing. That's going way back. I was a little tyke, and I would just listen to the radio. And then one day I hear this voice in it, Smokey Robinson, and I loved the way it sounded. There was a feeling that was tied into that, and so I tried to emulate what he did. And my neighbor, his last name was Robinson, ironically. And I said, Mr. Robinson, can I come and listen to your albums? And he said, sure. He's not going to. All the other kids outside playing. I got his albums sprawled out on the floor, and I'm just listening and trying to emulate different vocal skills that he did. And then there was Michael Jackson, there was Stevie Wonder. Those that I consider to be great, I try to pick their brain, so to speak, to try to find out what they did, but I still meshed it into my own style. So people say you sound a little bit like this, you sound like that, but they said, but you're you, and that's my goal. I don't tell them to say that. They feel it, and so it makes me feel like I'm hitting the target in that regard.
Oh, that sounds good. And that's why we have to be grounded
Right.
because we meet a lot of people in this business and your reputation goes a long way.
Yes, it does.
And being with my partner, Mr. Charles, I be amazed every day
Mm-hmm.
because of the journey that I go on. And he called me and say, call Thomas Hall, and I say, well, Mr. Charles, I don't know his number. Well, and he just ran it off to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
I asked you to send me your material, and I fell in love with it then.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Just like the song that I sent you called "Good Trouble,"
Uh
and
huh.
we know the great John Lewis, who recently passed, who marched on that bridge with Martin Luther King and all these other activists. Just talking about standing up for what's right, which gave the term "good trouble." And I
Right.
said I wanted to write something about good trouble. And so
Oh,
that's how I came up with that song, "Good Trouble." And it's just about raising awareness. Is not taking any sides. It's only trying to raise the awareness to thinking it differently and trying to correct the wrongs that we may see.
all righty. You're listening to WLMR Radio. We have Mr. Thomas Hall, and he's a songwriter, he's a singer, an actor, and a poet. And he's from Buffalo, New York, and he's on the radio right now with us live. So everyone, sit back, and we're going to continue on with Mr. Hall because I'm not through with him.
Good. Don't be through with me.
So yeah, I was talking to the lovely Robbie Ray,
Hmm.
and she's talked highly of you also.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah,
And
she's a great lady. We had an interview with her, and it was really a down to earth, interview. We hit it off as well. That's why I say the people that I've met when I went to Atlanta all seem positive. Of course, it's not going to be positive all the way across the board, but those that interviewed me and showed interest in what I did, they were always positive and gave me the right information because like I said, I don't know it all. Like I spoke to Levi. I don't know it all, and so I try to be humble enough to take in even more information, try to be better at what I do.
exactly. Well, Levi, one of my mentors also. So I think I'm in good company.
That's it. I often use Michael Jordan as an analogy. As great as he was, he needed a team. He couldn't win all of those championships alone. And so and he needed a coach too. There was someone that can point things out to him that he may not see. So there are things that you could point out to me, or Levi, or Charles Gear, or Robbie, on and on and on, that can give me information to help complete this journey or make it even better as we go, as we all go.
Okay. I just want everybody to know I'm trying to get Mr. Thomas to come back to Atlanta and put a show on for him. So I'm kind of pulling his teeth, is trying to get him down here.
Oh, I'll be there. I will be there without a doubt.
We appreciate it because the legends. I like to give all the avenues that I can because that's where I learned from.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it being in the surroundings of Lenny Williams and Bubble Knight, that's knowledge.
That's right. That is knowledge. And
Eh,
so there's certain things that certain spaces within the test that I can't fill in. But when someone has already taken those tests, they can give me those answers that I wasn't aware of to help me pass this test.
okay. So you say you've been writing, um,
Yes.
and I know the COVID is here, and we have to be
Hmm.
protect ourselves. You have a lot of people
Right.
running around here still talking about they don't understand and they don't know.
Mm.
I took it. I didn't hesitate
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I have to protect the people that's around me. They're elderly. They have immune deficiencies, so I can't play with that. And if you
Right.
love someone, then you have to think more about others than you do yourself.
Right.
And
Right.
so
Yeah.
that's so
I've
that,
taken the vaccine as well.
eh,
And yeah, it does boil down to personal preferences as to what they want to do. But I want to take this time right now to send my condolences and prayers out to every single person on this planet that has been affected by it, those that have lost loved ones, and those who've even gone through it and suffered. I send you my prayers and strength to recover. And those who have lost that loved one, I pray for you to have strength moving forward.
thank you for that, and that goes out for me also. And in our communities, we've been shut up for so long, and sometimes we talk about things and we don't look at them the way they should be.
Right.
And like I say, when you have loved ones that if they catch it, then they may not be here.
Right.
And with what we have in our communities is devastating already.
Right.
Because we have been shut up and shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it does feel good to able to go out,
Right.
and enjoy like we did on at the celebration on August the 1st.
Yeah. And
Last year
so many people. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
we wasn't able to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I say thank you, Thomas, for jumping on that plane and coming to the ATL and performing.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, definitely my pleasure, my honor. It's a shame there's so much misinformation out there that can, cloud a person's judgment as to what steps they should take, moving forward. Like myself, I made the decision to, take the vaccine and no ill effects whatsoever. Everything is good, But to each his own. To each his own. I'm not knocking anyone. Everyone has to do their own research or come to their own conclusion as to what they're going to do. But I found it to be a plus and gives me even more confidence. And to finally get out, and enjoy music or to perform, that was like you've been on the desert and you don't have a drink of water, and you finally get that drink of water, and it's refreshing because that felt refreshing, to get out there and be around people and perform again.
that it was. And that if we don't do the right thing and it's shut back down, a lot of artists, a lot of musicians, a lot of bartenders, a lot of waiters, they are going to lose out again.
Yes.
So that's why we have to reach out to all of our loved ones and say it's worth getting the vaccine now so we won't have to shut back down.
Right. Right. It's true. It is so true. The one thing that, since this virus happened, it really, really pulled the curtain back on so many different varieties of ways people think. And you shake your head going like, wow. And then you kind of question yourself, why do I see it this way and they don't see it that way? But in reverse, they could be saying the same thing about me. That's why I say it comes down to a personal choice. But it is amazing variety of brains and thinking that's out there.
You're right.
That's what makes the world go round. Variety.
Exactly, and that's what we need more of.
Exactly.
Because right now, when you look at everything that's going on with our Asian brothers and sisters, the way they being treated,
Right.
the way that the Hispanics are being treated, the way that the blacks are being treated, and
Right.
if we all just come together as one and think positive and not as individuals saying, well, I got the right to do this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people on this earth that we have to live with. There's no other way around that.
That's right. That is so right. And that's thinking outside of the box and not being selfish. Because we know there's a lot of selfishness out there. But the word love. We're supposed to love, but love can be distorted by the way people view things and situations. That's how, some of how I've written Good Trouble that is speaking about that. Create a way, open the minds of those who think in ways of cold. Show them the way.
Show them
Good
the
trouble.
way. Exactly. And if you keep writing and producing and singing what you putting out there on the table, there's love in that lyrics.
Yes.
So again, we want to thank you for continuing on that old style and that tradition of if I'm gonna say something, it's gonna be worth saying.
Right. I look at it as God gave me a gift. And if I hand you a gift or someone you love, your lady, whomever, hand you a gift, and you stand right in front of them with that gift, would you show appreciation to them by throwing dirt on it or putting stuffing on it or putting mud on it. No, you would take care of it to let them know how much you appreciate that gift they've given you. So God gave me a gift. I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm trying to take care of it so that others that look onto it or listen onto it can appreciate it too. So that's been my approach. Okay, I was talking to a gentleman from Greece. It was via Skype, and he said, Thomas, he said, what is the difference between old school and new school? I said, I'm not knocking anybody's music, to each his own, but my vision and my view as to the difference is they're talking about the same things, but the words that they use to talk about those things are different, and they vary.
Exactly. Because when you go overseas and you perform, how do that make you feel that you be welcome?
Mm-hmm. That is beautiful. It's just another indication that even though we may live in different locations on this planet, you still can't get away from the fact we are all still human. We all still have human emotions. And so I just try to touch those emotions the best way I can.
It sounds good. What we're gonna do? We're gonna take a break, and we're going to play "Springtime Love." And when we get back, we're going to continue with Mr. Hall. And I want to know his acting because I want to get into his brain about when he was around Miss Vivica A. Fox. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna listen to "Springtime Love" and come back and pick his brain about Miss Vivica A. Fox.
All right.
So here, Mr. Thomas C. Hall with "Springtime Love."
All right.
If you are interested in having your lovely home or small commercial buildings remodeled, rooms additions, renovations, painting, or electrical work, and much more, please call Brightwell and Miller Construction at 470-428-9577 or visit our website, www.brightwellmillerconstruction.com. We serve the Metro Atlanta, Georgia area. Brightwell and Miller Construction is a minority and disabled veteran-owned business, VOD, that specializes in residential and small commercial remodeling, renovations, and maintenance. Yes, but really that's oversimplified. We honestly see ourselves as transformation specialists. We just use building materials and draftsmanship to perform the magic.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station, WLMR DB Radio.
If you're lonely, I just want you to know that I care. And it's springtime. I got nothing but love for you, baby.
Springtime's finally here. Flowers everywhere. Winter's come and go. Love is in the air. It's love. Sharing love on a lovely spring night. Together, holding her close. In my mind, everything is alright. In my heart, I love her so. Lonely
Welcome back to WLMR, the James Cuffie Show. I'm your host, JC, and I'm back with Thomas C. Hall. He's on the plane today, and we're going to get into a little bit more with Mr. Hall. He hails from Buffalo, New York, and he's been honored winning of the best overall actor in Nashville in 2000, first place winner in the TV commercial composition in Nashville 2000, first place winner of the TV sitcom in Nashville 2000. He does poems. He just all around. So I'm going to get back in there with him. So I'm going to start with the Nashville, and we're going to get into this overall actors. So, I know you can act, but let us know about how you got into acting.
Well, if you're on stage and you're performing even a song, you're acting the song out as well, And so, like I said, entertainment has always been a pull to me. So in Buffalo, there's this place called Studio Arena Theater where you can go and take acting classes. So I signed up for that, and I took some classes for a while, but I couldn't maintain that. So I had to get a real job for a while, and so it took me from that. But anyway, I still paid attention to how actors, even to this day, are on TV and how they portray. Like Denzel Washington or Al Pacino or, different people that really show emotion. So when I'm singing a song, I'm acting. When anyone is up there performing, singing a song, they're acting. But I wanted to take it to another level. Music had slowed down a little bit for me, so I said, okay, let me just try to get into the acting more. And so there was an opportunity in Buffalo to come and audition for this acting competition that was going on in Nashville. So I went, and, I'm talking to different agents and, read a little script, and I'm like, okay, this must be a money thing. I don't know what it is. So, it is a cost to go to be a part of this. Whereas there's a lot of cost involved with entertainment anyway to get to the next place. But I look at it as an investment into myself if I'm doing it. So anyway, I decided I'm going. I fly to Nashville. So I entered the competition, and I'm doing my thing. And, so it was the last performance that really opened my eyes a little differently because and we all were assigned numbers. We weren't called by our name. And this was in front of entertainment industry people that were doing the judging. And so I'm standing back there waiting to do my sitcom that I had written. And it was, I had to write the straight lines for person sitting off stage, and I had to do the comedy lines. So my theme was I was the first black man ever abducted by aliens.
Okay.
Exactly. Just when you hear the title, it makes you laugh. It's
exactly.
So funny. So I'm standing backstage just before they call me out. I was the very last performer in this particular spot. So I'm standing back there, and I look around, and I realize, and I hadn't realized it the whole time I was there for like 3 days, I was the only black man in the whole competition.
Okay, but you
because I didn't view color. I just looked at people.
Right. Oh.
So I go out and I do my performance, and it turned out well. It was a standing ovation. Everybody loved it. And so there you go with that.
Okay. And Mr. Hall does poems. And Old Remounder included the International Library of Poets hardcover release. Go on, Mr. Thomas.
Well, listen. Want to hear it? Here you go.
There you go.
The line from Living Color.
Okay.
It's very brief. I'll cite it for you. I haven't done it in a little bit, but I think I can do it. Anyway, I love playing basketball, so I was on the basketball court. This 18-year-old kid I'm guarding this old guy, right? I was like, what? So I killed him. We won the game, and I'm walking to the car, and I'm feeling a little weird. Like, why did I feel a little tinge of embarrassment by being called old? I'm able to do the things I could do in my youth, so that should be honored. So anyway, I came up with this poem called An Old Reminder. Here it is. Getting old is a reminder that we didn't die young. We should never be embarrassed about the years that we have won. Through wisdom and understanding, they say only the strong survive. But an 18-year-old may laugh due to his lack of learning life. Life and understanding that gives birth to respect the men or women who lived before him. And I pray that he'll live to reflect that old reminder.
All righty. And Mr. Thomas has recorded many commercials, voiceovers. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on now. What have you not done?
Well, I haven't flown to the moon yet, but that's coming.
Well, I'm your pilot today. You on the plane with JC.
That is it, yes.
So, and Mr. Thomas also appeared in the movie Queen City, starring Vivica A. Fox. Tell us about that.
Well, there was a movie that was being shot here in Buffalo called Queen City. Vivica Fox was the lead role. She was lady jazz singer. And so the studio I worked with called me and said that they were having open auditions and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, let me go on down. So got the part. It was not a speaking role, but I was in quite a few scenes, and so the one thing that I said to myself while going there is like, I'm not going to try to force anything. I want things to happen naturally, right? So there was this bar scene, we're all sitting at the table, we're pretending to have a conversation, and then Vivica Fox comes out, and she's, pantomiming the music like she's singing and everything like that. So then the director says, okay, we want the people in the back to move up to the front. The people in the front, you can leave until the next part. We just want the ones further in the back and move up. Now, I'm some of the one in the back, right? So I was like, they were jumping up and running full speed trying to get these tables, believing they're going to get the best spot. I just took my time, walked slowly to a table on the edge, just sat there. Lo and behold, the scene they were shooting was right in front of me with Vivica Fox and her co-star, right?
Okay.
And I was sharp. I knew I don't fool around with that dress. I was sharp. So they finished the scene. She gets up from the table and walks over to me. And she brushes off my shoes, black and velvet. She brushed it off. She said, brother, those are some nice shoes. I said, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, on the outside, I'm poised like a quarterback just threw a touchdown. But inside, I'm kicking like little baby. Yeah, but I couldn't let that show. And so I heard her go over to the director and say, I want him in more scenes. So I was in more scenes. And it went really well. She's a nice lady.
Okay. You're listening to WLAR Radio, the James Cuffie Show. It is brought to you by B&M Construction. Your construction needs, just give them a call and they will help you out. And we're brought to you by Ground Under Entertainment, your industry plug. And we have Mr. Thomas C. Hall, the songwriter, the singer, the actor, the poet, everything that you could do in the business. Look like he done stepped his toe into it, and we're going to get into it some more. Mr. Hall, let us know something else that you into that we haven't known by now.
I'm into people as far as whatever it is or experiences that I'm going through. If I get an opportunity to actually talk to them about it, because here in Buffalo, I'm pretty well known, and so they listen intently to the things that I have to say. So if I say something, I want to be very careful with that, because I don't want to cross a line, but I want to give encouragement to those who in the field are trying to come up and do maybe some of the things that I've done. I don't know it all. I've touched a lot of different genres, but I don't know it all. I'm still learning too. And so they ask me, how did I do this? How did I do that? So what I do is try to teach them or educate them on the different steps that I've taken. It's different per person and the choices or steps that they take, but I at least try to give them some insight how to begin or how to approach. And like I said, I'm still learning, people such as yourself and other people surrounding you that's in the field, especially Mr. Charles Gear. I try to learn more. So with that information, those that I feel are worthy, I'll try to pass that information on to them.
Okay, let our listeners know one more time how to reach out to Mr. Thomas Hall.
Yes, my Instagram is Thomas Hall 8060. Please hit me up. That would be great. Trying to build a following even more so. I'm pretty well known here in Buffalo, but I wanted to branch out even more so, to the world. Also, if you wanted to view Springtime Love, you go to YouTube and type in Springtime Love Thomas Hall. You see a video, hear the song, and give me a like. That would be beautiful.
That sounds good. Let's talk about Good Trouble. Tell me something about Good Trouble.
Yeah, Good Trouble. It's so much unrest all over the country. So much racism, wrong people looking the other way, and you've heard the thing about snitching and all that. And so they've made that a popular word, snitching. Okay, what if this person that did this wrong thing that you didn't speak up on going kills your mother or your brother or your sister, but because you didn't tell the proper authorities who this person was, then that's why the crimes continue. So Good Trouble is based on what Mr. John Lewis said. If you see something, say something. Good trouble, So that can cause trouble by speaking up for the right thing, but that's the most important thing. Better is it to suffer because you are doing good than because you are doing bad or evil. So I try to approach it from that perspective, using his words, good trouble. And, the opening line is, I'm not political. I just want you to know, we have to try, because we all have to try. We're living on this planet. Let's just try. Let's not just throw our hands up and not care, but let's just try. We're not going to get it perfect, but if you're trying. So that's what it's about.
Well, I think a start would be passing the John Lewis Act.
Yeah, that would be great. I know they're talking about that, and I don't know why it would take any time to do that.
Well, I'm from the ATL, and I'll be the first one in line to go ahead and sign it because we need it here. And with the voter suppression and what's going on political wise, as an individual, that's an individual voter, only thing I want to know, where can I vote? How easy can it be? And I don't want to stand in the line 8 or 9 hours just to vote.
Right. And we noticed it's just deterrence to try to discourage people.
And see, the thing about it is, if you're in line for 8 or 9 hours and they're not compensating you at work, what's on your mind right then? I'm losing hours and I'm standing here. So, we have to fight for the John Lewis Voter Right Act.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, through our music, it's just still a way of trying to raise awareness, but without getting political, but at the same time trying to bring attention to certain things that we need to address.
We are one. We are one.
And that's so ironic. I wrote this song called The World, and it says that very line is in there. We are one.
Okay, well, when you get to the ATL, you put that on the agenda, and then I'll sit back and I'll listen to it also.
Oh, absolutely. I look forward. I love it when someone hears what I do and they appreciate it and they get the point.
Exactly. So what I want to do now, I want to pick your brain about your cousin, Mr. Arsenio Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Is y'all first cousins?
First cousins is not like a close relationship. This is like my other cousins have hung out with him. I haven't had the opportunity to do that. So, but he is another cousin by the name of Jace Hall, too. Has a Jace Hall show in L.A.
Okay.
And I communicate with him too. But it's been via text, via Facebook. So certain members of our family, we know that they're our family, but we don't have close contact with them. So I kind of look at it like we will serve no wine until it's time. So I figure, okay, let me knock on that music business door, open that door, and I'm standing right in front of him. See how it all goes.
Well, what we're going to do right now, we're going to play a little bit of your record, Good Trouble, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
If you are interested in having your lovely home or small commercial buildings remodeled, rooms additions, renovations, painting, or electrical work, and much more, please call Brightwell and Miller Construction at 470-428-9577 or visit our website, www.brightwellmillerconstruction.com. We serve the Metro Atlanta, Georgia area. Brightwell and Miller Construction is a minority and disabled veteran-owned business, VOD, that specializes in residential and small commercial remodeling, renovations, and maintenance. Yes, but really that's oversimplified. We honestly see ourselves as transformation specialists. We just use building materials and draftsmanship to perform the magic.
WLMR. They represent a culture. You can represent like this. WLMR Radio.
My philosophy is very simple. When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, say something, do something. Get in trouble, good trouble, necessary trouble.
Political, but I know what's right from wrong. I'm here to let you know we have to try to create a day. Open the eyes to those who think in ways of cold. Show them the way to a better heart, one that can help them see. Create a brotherhood, one that is free. Good trouble, good trouble, good trouble. Fighting for peace. Good trouble, good trouble, good trouble. Searching for love, searching for what's missing everywhere. People who just don't care. No, I'm not trying to preach, but I see the hurt that can bring the tears and causing so much fear. Wish I could make it right, but I can't alone. Try to create a day. Open the eyes to those who think in ways of cold. Show them the way with good trouble, good trouble, good trouble. Fighting for peace. Good trouble, good trouble, good trouble. Searching for love, searching for what's missing. Good trouble. Good trouble. Good trouble, good trouble, fighting for peace. Good trouble, good trouble, good trouble. Searching for love, searching for what's missing.
Welcome back. That was a nice song, Mr. Thomas. I really enjoyed it. So, Good Trouble is all right with me. And what we gonna do? We gonna kind of wind it on down. Time just go by fast.
Especially when you're having fun.
Exactly. So, Mr. Hall, I'm gonna give you a few minutes to reach out to everybody and just show some love.
Yes, I just want to say hello to every single listener that's tuned in. This is a great radio station, great people, and continue to keep listening. You know, my attempt is to touch even more hearts if I can. With the grace of God and with all humility, I just want to introduce you all to my music and what I do and what God has given me. I'm just trying to share it with you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hall. And that will end it for today. You are listening to WLAR, and I am JC, and I appreciate everyone all over